Okay, so in this session we'll create one sample smart form, and we'll go through the navigations and options, and we'll also see how to call the smart form in your driver program. Driver program is nothing but a report program, right? So for that we'll build one sample layout. For today we'll take our custom tables data, employee data. We'll print employee data on the smart form and also department data on the smart form. Okay, with some logo and with some text. Okay, clear? You can also use standard tables. In this sample example, we'll use this custom tables available. So what is the transaction code to create a smart form?
Smartphones.
Or
SE77, sir.
What?
Smartphones.
that is
SE7,
logo.
sir. Sorry. Yes.
78 is for to upload the logo. Okay,
Logos.
so this is the smart forms transaction code, smart forms. Okay, so here you have three options: forms, styles, and text modules. So
Sir,
in
recording.
forms we create the smart forms, and in styles, so we have a concept like designing the fonts and everything. So we'll discuss that later. And text modules also, it is for reusable text. Okay, for now we'll confine to forms, right? I'll create one smart form. Naming convention, we have to follow some naming convention, just like your programs. So smart form name should be unique. You cannot create multiple smart forms with the same name. So create the smart form. Now observe this. In global settings, observe the folders. Global settings. Under global settings, what are the options we have? Form attributes, form interface, and global definitions. First go to form attributes. So this is the form attribute. What can you see here? The created and created date and created time and the package. What is the package assigned for this smart form? And also language attributes. In which language we are designing this smart form. And also we have translation options. SAP supports automatic language translations, right? So in smart forms also we have language translation option. So if you design smart forms in one language, so we can convert that form into different languages. So we'll see that in the further sessions. Okay, to enable that into all languages, or if you don't want to translate the form into other languages, use do not translate. Or if you want to if you want to translate, right? If you want to translate form into only specific languages, then you have to use this selection to define the required languages. Okay. So SC63 we use for this language translations. Okay, what is the transaction code? SC63 we use for language translations. Okay, so we'll see that in the further sessions. But it's an important interview question. SC63 is the transaction code which we use for form language translations. Now go to output options. I mean form interfaces. Go to output options. What are the options available here? Page format. page format. What is Dyna for? A4 format, right? If you want to select a different page format like A3, you can select here. So what is the page format you want? Here we have A3, A4, A5, right? Letter. You can observe this in Word, I think, MS Word, right? So this is the page format, and this is characters per inch, spacing of the characters. Okay, spacing of the characters, and this is line space, line gap, space between one line to another line. Okay, so output options and everything we'll see later. Please observe this output options, page format and characters and lines. Now let's go to form interface. What is form interface? Is it familiar for you guys? Can you observe? Observe the screen, form interface screen. Is it familiar or not?
Yes, sir, just like function modules
Right?
interface.
So it is similar to function module interface, right? Import, export, tables and exceptions, right? So this form interface is used to define the import parameters so that which we can pass the input data for the smart form and export to return the output, from smart form to driver program, right? And tables. What is the use of tables? To pass the tabular data or to return the tabular data as output. It is very similar to function module. Import parameter, export parameter, tables. And exceptions. What is exceptions? Exceptions is to raise the errors or raise the exceptions. You can define your own exceptions. These are the standard exceptions. And if you want to define your own exceptions, you can define. Okay? And import is to pass the data to the form, smart form, which we need to print. Okay, and export it to return the data. It will return the data to driver program. Okay, these importing parameters where you are going to pass in the driver program. When you call the smart form function module, you have to pass data to import parameters in your driver program. So that data will be printed in a smart form. Clear? This is same or similar how you define importing parameters in function modules. Okay, clear? That's why I told you, if you know how to call a function module, only thing you need to learn here is designing the form. Remaining things are very common. Now go to global definitions. So global definitions, here you can define your own data objects like variables, work areas or internal table like structures. Here, okay? These are local to the smart form. These are local to the smart form. By using this global declarations, right? For example, variable like structures or work area like structures. For example, you can define like this: ls underscore mara type mara. So this is a work area like structure, and you can use this structure within the form to populate the data and to write some code. Go to types. In types, what is types? You can define type structures. Your own type structures here. And by using those type structures, you can also define global declarations instead of using data dictionary reference. Define the types here and use the type structure reference here. Okay? And field symbols. I think we did not discuss about field symbols. So in the form initialization, form routines, you can write ABAP statements. Okay, you can write ABAP statements. Here you need to define the importing parameters, which is input for this logic, and you here you can define inputs and outputs. What is the output you are going to return, that you have to define here. Okay, clear? You can write your own program here. You can write your own code here, including select statements, and you can print this global data in the form. Okay, clear? For example, if you want to populate any data to this, go to initialization and define here, provide here. So work area like structure, right? We have to select single into ls underscore mara. We are not using any where condition, but if you have any importing parameters, right, you can define those importing parameters here. For example, im underscore matner, and you can use that matner here, where matner equal to im underscore matner, like this. Okay, before using this import, right, input, right, you have to define it as a input parameter, and that should be available in form interface. So yes, as a importing parameter. Clear? So we'll see that later. Now clear, right? Form interface, form attributes, form interface, and global definitions. If you want to write any code within the smart form, you have to use these global definitions. But usually, what is the recommended approach? Design all your business logic in driver program and pass the data to smart form function module. Pass that final output to smart form function module. Okay? Use only very limited business logic in smart form itself. Don't write complete business logic inside the smart form. Okay, always try to implement all your business logic in driver program and call the smart form and pass the data. Okay, clear? Now pages and windows. If you observe this, it is automatically created a default page and one main window. Main window is mandatory or optional for smart form?
Optional.
Optional. Main window is optional. If you need to flow the data to the next page, you need to use a main window. Otherwise, you can delete the main window. Right click and delete the main window. If you don't want to flow, if that page is a static page with fixed length, okay, main window is not required. This page 1. Double click on the page 1. This first page. We are designing the first page. If you want, you can create a right click on the pages and windows, create new page. You can also create a new page. Okay, like this page 2, and this page 2 has its own format. Go double click on page 1, go to output options. So you can design this page in portrait or landscape. You can select the format. Background picture. If you want to display any background picture for the page, like watermark, here you can provide those background picture details. What is the name we have to provide here? For background picture, what is the name we have to provide here? It is from which transaction code?
SC78.
SC78. First you need to upload from upload to SC78, and you can select the logos from there. So it will print as a watermark. Background image nothing but just like watermark. If you observe any offer letters or anything, you can see those company logo as watermark. Logo is different. Again, so these are all logos already uploaded, already available, right? So yesterday we uploaded one logo, right? Where it is? Is it in 2021? So like this. If you know the logo name, you can directly enter the name. Graphic name, object is graphics, and ID is bmap, bitmap image. And you can select color image or bitmap image. So it will print as a background picture, a background image, right? For the second page, you can define your own background image, another background image with another formatting options, portrait or landscape, right? So that's what we are saying. SmartForms has different page formats for each page, right? You can design each page separately. Each page has its own properties. Correct? So let's go back to background image. When you are using the background image, right? You have options to set the resolution. Resolution will impact the size of the background image, right? And position where you want to print this background image. You can also adjust this, right? For now, I'm deleting the second page. That is not required for me now. So I've added the background image. What is the prerequisite to add the background image? That bitmap image should be already uploaded to SC78. Now, observe the important option, that is Form Painter. Click on Form Painter. So this is a Form Painter where you can design your form. So this is main window. I am decreasing the length of the main window. So this is the total form area in boxes, right? So this is the total form area available. So you can place your windows somewhere here. Okay. Now this is my main window. It is floatable. It will float to the next page. Depends on the data available, right? Now let me design one logo. For now I'll remove background image so that it will be clear for us. To close this form painter, click form painter again. For now I'll remove the background image. I'll add it later once we add the logo and everything. Okay. Now go to form painter. So this is your form. I'll make it 100% so that you can see bigger frame. So this is your form and you can design the form. For example, where we need to print the logo, company logo, the top right, top right, left corner or right corner, right? First we'll upload some logo. What is the transaction code?
SC78.
SC78. Select the graphics, bitmap images and import. Import. Select from your local system. I've already designed this logo yesterday. Select it. Provide the logo name. Provide the description. It is color bitmap image, right? It is not black and white. Color bitmap image. Continue. So logo is uploaded. It's not uploaded. Let me open it again. SC78. Go to graphics, bitmap images, logo, print preview. Looks like it is not uploaded. Let's upload again. Color bitmap image. Upload it. Already exists. Yeah, overwrite. Looks like it is already there. Yeah. Now it is uploaded. Our logo name is ZDemo logo. Go to the smart form. So what is required to place the logo? We need a window. We need a window to fix the logo position. So how to create a window? A main window is automatically created. To create a new window, right click on the page, create window. I'll place this window the rightmost corner. This logo I'll use for this window I'll use for logo. Okay. Now, what type of window it is? Move this side. What type of window it is? Go to the window types.
Second.
We have secondary window, main window, copies window, and the final window. I'll select this as secondary window because it is a fixed width window. I don't need to expand it, right? If you go to the output options of the window, you can set margins, right? Frame. If you want any border, you can set the border, and everything you can set here with lines. If you want frame for the window with box symbol, it will display like that. Conditions. What is the use of this condition? For example, we are working for a multinational company where it is operating from different countries. If country is India, it should display one logo. If country is USA, it should display a different logo. How can you handle that? By using conditions. By using conditions, you can dynamically display that logo. Depends on the value. For that, what we need to use? In window, we have conditions. We provide the name here. For example, importing parameter LV underscore country. If it is equal to IN, then this logo will be displayed. When this window will display? When this window will display now? When country value equal to India. If country is not equal to India, what will happen? This window will not display, right? You need to use another window with that condition where country equal to USA. Then that window will be displayed instead of this window. Okay. So conditions are common for any window. So you can display data depends on the condition by using a conditions tab in window. Okay, clear? So I'm selecting it as secondary window. Conditions are very important and interview question also. If you observe this symbol, what does that mean? That means we applied some conditions. I think I did not delete it properly. Delete it. Instead of clearing it, delete it. Now it's gone, right? That means there is no conditions applied on this window, right? Also, you can rename the windows. Use your own name. For example, logo. You can name your windows. Logo window. Clear? Now, What we need to place inside this window? Graphic, right? Logo, right? Right click on the window, create graphic. Create graphic. You can also change the name of this. You can also change the name of this element, graphic element. My logo. Okay. Now, where you need to provide it? That graphic here. Here you have an option when you create the graphic element, you can provide your graphic name here. Here you can observe we have conditions here also. For example, in logo window you can create multiple graphics. You can create multiple graphics for each country and you can apply the condition here for each graphic, right? When country equal to India, display this graphic. Country equal to USA, display this graphic. Country equal to some Australia, display the third logo. You can add that conditions here, right? Clear? I'll show you how to use it in this class only. For now, I'll remove these logos, right? Condition, but depends on the condition, you can display the logo using this conditions tab. Okay. Now go to general attributes and provide your logo details. What is your logo name? ZDemo underscore logo, right? Or you can use F4 option to select it. What is the type? What is the object type? Graphic. What is the image? Bitmap image. Color bitmap image. Color bitmap image. By using resolution, you can define the size. You can increase or decrease the size of the logo when it is displaying in the smartphone. Okay. In the output options, if you want any border frame, you can define here. My logo is completed, right? Do you want to test or yeah, logo is completed. We'll add address also. We'll add address details also. Okay. Address of the company. Here we'll place it in the leftmost corner. Right click. You have a special option here, that is address. That is first create one secondary window for address. For address, I've created one window, and within that secondary window, by default it will create secondary window. In that secondary window, I'll create address. I'll place the window. I'll place the window where I want to display it. Inside that, I've created address. This one. Drag this to this one. Go to general attributes. Address. What it is expecting here? Organizational address, personal address, workplace address. What is it expecting here? Address number. In SAP, we have a concept called address number. How can you maintain the address of the customer, address of the vendor, or address of the any employee in SAP? Are we going to maintain it in the master data table with street, city, and all? To maintain the address details, we have a separate table. What is that table? ADRC. This is the table where we maintain all the address, and each address is referred with which one? Address number. Each address is referred by address number. For example, go to any uh, what is T001? Company code
Checking.
master data. Let's check is there any address number available here. ADR NR. This is address number. If you want to know the company address, what is your reference? Address number is your reference, right? Address number for that company code. For example, execute. Take this SAP company, SAP UK Limited, 1100. For address number is maintained, you can check the address number in ADRC. If you want to know the address of this company, SAP UK Limited, what is the reference? Address number is the reference. You need to first find the address number. This one. But for this, address is blank. Let's find some company with address data. Select ADRNR into selection. I'll search company codes with proper address, not equal to space, execute. Huh. If you observe this, for each company, address is maintained here, right? Address number is maintained. What is this address number? If you want to find the address of this company, what you need to use? This address number. And where you need to go? For example, take this company code 111. Take this address number 25726. And what is the reference table for address? ADRC. All the address data will be maintained in ADRC table. Enter the address number and execute. Actually, this is the address data of that company. This is the address master data of that company. Actually, they did not provide complete details here. For example, title, name, city, district, country code, right? All the address details you can find in which table? ADRC table. And what is the reference? Address number is the reference, right? Let's find one more company code. Or we'll take SAP company code. Where is SAP? We'll check this one. 23957. Address number is 23957 for that company code. For this, few details are maintained like name, city, postal code, street, country, right? All these details are maintained here in the address data, right? For example, if you want to know the customer address, what is the table for customer master data? KNA1. What you need to find in the table first? Address number. If you want to find the customer address, what is the link? First, you need to know the address number. You need to select the address number. Take any customer. This is the address number. Take address number of one customer and go to ADRC and enter the address number. So this is the address number of that customer. This is the address of that customer, right? If you want to know the address, you have to go to ADRC table. And the other customer address, how to find? For example, customer number 700. If you want to know the address, copy the address number and go to ADRC table and execute. So this is the address master data of that customer. Okay, clear?
Sir, how to add the new addresses in empty columns?
No,
Empty
yeah,
spaces.
empty columns means when you are creating the standard address master data, right? For example, customer master data, it will be automatically maintained if you enter the data. Or you can go to that change transaction code, change customer master data transaction code, and you can maintain that data. Okay.
Okay.
So in S4 HANA, we don't call them customers, vendors, and everything. We call them business partners. Okay. So in the previous ECC version, right, we used to call customer, vendor, supplier like that. But in S4 HANA, right, everyone is a business partner. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm just showing you for every address reference, what you have to take address number, and you have to select that address number from ADRC table, right? You have to write that select condition to select the address of the customer or address of the vendor or address of the employee, whoever. Now go back to our smart form. What is it expecting here? Address number. If you provide the address number, it will automatically print that address here. It will automatically print that address here. Personal address. Personal nothing but employee. Who is personal? Employee. Employee of the company. You can provide the address number or employee ID also to get that. It will automatically select from the ADRC table. Okay. Or you can create your own fields. Without using address, you can create your own fields like city, street, country, and you can populate the address. For that, you need to write the select statements. Okay. For now, I am just providing the address number here. Okay. So that this, whatever the address number available here should be printed here automatically. Now I completed my address window and logo window. What is next? We'll populate some data, business data. How to populate the business data? I wanted to display employee details here. I wanted to display the employee details here. For that, what is required? First, I need to define importing parameters because I want to pass employee data from driver program. How to do that? For example, im underscore emp type. What is the table name? I'll use zdemo employee. If you want to pass the department data, im underscore dept type. This is work area like structures. Please observe. We can pass the single record. Correct? zdemo underscore dept underscore t. Text table, right? Is this the text table for department? Let me check. Is everyone able to follow?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the text table. I'll provide the text table. Now I'm going to pass input data to this importing parameter from driver program. Now, whatever the data I am passing from the program, I'll print in the form. How to print that? I'll print that in main window. I'll print that business data in main window. Right click on the main window, create text. Create text. Hello? Here, it is word like editor. You can type your own text, right? You can type your own text. But to print, it is a static data. Whatever you type here, it will automatically print in the smart form, right? But if you want to print the dynamic data, that is, which is coming from the driver program, how to do that? How to print that? For that, I'll design text like this. Employee ID. From where this ID should be displayed? If you provide 100, it will always display that 1000 employee ID 100. But to display the dynamic data which is coming from the driver program, what you need to do? First click on this one, text editor. Go to text editor. And for employee ID, right, you need to display the dynamic data, right, which you are populating from driver program. So you need to enclose that with address symbol. What is your importing parameter? im underscore emp, right? Is this your importing parameter, right?
I am
Hyphen,
on.
is this your field available in the table? Let me check. emp id, yes, emp id, and close it with the address symbol. And what is the next field you want to display?
EMP employee names.
Employee name. When you want to display the dynamic data, please click on the text editor and do this. Otherwise, dynamic data will not display properly. It is not case sensitive. Underscore, what is the other field name? Employee name, address symbol. If you use star, that means the next line. City, im underscore emp hyphen city. Go back. You need to enclose those dynamic values with this address symbol and symbol. If you observe here, these are highlighted, right? These are highlighted with some brown text, correct? Gray color text, gray color, right? These are dynamic values which are coming from importing parameters or global definitions. Did we define anything in global definitions? Yeah, we defined one variable in global definition, right? Mara table. You can also use this. You can also display data from global definitions. How to display? For example, if you want to display Mara, you can format this here. If you want to display Mara, what you need to do? Go to this one, text editor. Go to text editor in the next line. Material equal to, these are local to the form. These are from global declarations, correct? Not from the driver program. These are local global declaration, which is coming from the form logic, smart form logic, which we need to write code in inside the smart form. Go back. So you can display data from global declarations also. That's what I want to show you. Okay. But for now, we are not writing any logic inside the form. That's why I'm removing this. Now, what is next? I'll display department data also. Department. What is the importing parameter for department? im underscore dept hyphen. What is the field name?
DEPT ID.
dept id, and close it with the symbol. Go to next line. Department name, that is department text, right? Now go back. So it is very important. You have to go to text editor before displaying the dynamic data. Okay. You have to design dynamic data in text editor. Even if you try these symbols in this editor, right, word based editor, that may not work properly. Okay. Always go to this text editor to add this dynamic objects. Clear? Now if you want to display any text, you can type your own text here. Okay. Clear? Save the form. Save the form. And if you want to display any uh, terms and conditions or any text below, you can create one more window. Create window. So I'll drag that to at the end, or maybe I'll use do I have option to relocate this? In the form itself I can do that. So this is the window I newly created. I'll keep it at the end like this. And inside this I'll print some terms and conditions text. Create text. Create text. So in text you can place the text, or we have other options. We can also use reusable text. We can also use reusable text, that is called standard text. That's called standard text. We'll see that in the next session. Okay, how to make use of standard text. Okay, so here, right, we have options in text type. What is the type of the text? Text element. Now we are working with text elements. Also we can use include text. Include text, right? What is include text? Include text is a reusable text which we create in the standard text. SO10 is the transaction code. In the next session we'll see how to use a reusable text. Okay, now I'll paste some sample text. I'll paste something from online. I'll just paste this. Okay, paste this here. These are the employee terms and conditions. Let's assume I kept that window at the end. Now observe. Okay, now observe the windows. I've created address window, logo window, main window, and one more secondary window to display the terms and conditions. So in the address window, right, address number should be properly added. If there is address maintained for that window, it will display, otherwise it won't. Okay, now save the form. Save the form in some proper package or in local object for now. Check the form. Check successfully, there is no errors, and activate the form. Smart form is activated. Now how to test the smart form? You can execute. You can execute here. What is this? What is this?
Function
This is
module.
the function module generated for this smart form. Also you can go to form attributes. Maybe it's not available here. When you execute, you can see the function module that is generated for this smart form. For example, if you need to debug the smart form, what we can do? You can go to this function module and you can search for your custom code where it is implemented. If you write any code in that code initialization, right, that code will be displayed here. So you can keep a breakpoint at any point of line and you can execute your smart form so that debug will trigger, right, to debug the logic which you implemented in the smart form. Now execute the function module. So this is the, it is same like function module, right? Provide some data. I'll provide some test data. Go back. SAP DEPT. Output device is nothing but printer which is configured for this SAP system. We are print, right? We use to print, right? So for now you can select LP01 as your output device and click on print preview. So this is your sample smart form. So here the logo is displayed and here the address is printed. From where this address is being printed? From ADRC table. We have provided the address number, right? We have created the address element and we have provided the address number. So it is printing from ADRC table. We did not write any code for this, correct? And this is the data which we have passed in the function module when we are testing it. And this is the terms and conditions which we placed at the end, correct? From secondary window. So smart form is working, right? If you want to adjust the logo size, what you need to do? Go to the smart form, and if you want to increase or decrease the logo size, go to logo. Here you have resolution. Adjust the resolution. If you adjust the resolution, it will increase or decrease the logo size. Okay, clear? If you want to print the logo dynamically, what you need to do? Create one more logo and add the conditions for each logo. In which condition this logo should be printed. Okay. For example, let me add a condition here. I'll create one more. First, I'll add condition for this. IM underscore DEPT hyphen DEPT ID. Is that the field name? DEPT ID, right? Equal to SAP. Then this logo should be printed. Logo A, right? I'll create one more graphic. I'll print other. I'll name it as other. When this logo should be printed, I'll use another condition. IM underscore DEPT hyphen DEPT ID equal to Java. Then second logo should be printed. I need to add the logo, add some logo, or I'll use the existing logo which is available, which is already uploaded to SC78, or you can upload your own logo. I'll use this logo. Someone has already uploaded this logo. I'll use this logo, color bitmap, right? So now I've added the conditions. So in which condition this logo will print? Other logo for when department ID equal to Java. When department ID equal to SAP, the different logo will print, right? Activate the form. Form is activated. Now, is that it? How to execute this smart form? For that, we need to create a driver program. Create a driver program. This is called driver program. Create the program. Select the type as executable program. Any difference you observed? We are creating a program, right? Did you observe any differences here? No, right? Same as your report program. Are you guys there or sleeping?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Oh, no.
So initialization,
Head
introduction
selection,
screen, start of selection,
startup selection,
end of selection. Mm. Now I'll use a parameter for that. I'll provide employee ID. What is the type? Okay. Z demo employee ID. I'll take. I'll take one more parameter for department ID also. Let me check ZDemo EMP ID. Don't we have data elements?
demo employee.
Okay, looks like here these are different. I think we are in 2020 systems, right? Hmm. No data element itself. Okay. Let's take char 10. It's character 10, right? Char 10. Now what is next? Validations, initializations, everything is common. Just like how you did it in the report programs. And how to write the business logic? Create a helper class, and inside the helper class create method for validations and create methods for to select the business data. That everything is common, right? For now I'll just write some select statements. Select single. I'll use star. Select single star from zdemo employee where empid equal to p underscore empid. Into data of for example wa underscore emp, and I'll select department data also. Select single star from, what is the table name? Department table name. This one. You need to make sure whatever the import parameters defined in the smart form and whatever the work area or internal table you are passing from the driver program, both should match, both should have same structure or same fields in the same order. That is very important. Where dept id equal to @p underscore dept. Right? So I've selected the data. So this is simple data selection, but in general, you may need to join multiple tables, right? You need to use a loop to manipulate the data. You may need to apply the string operations. You may need to build data into one final internal table, and you need to pass that final internal table to SmartForm function module, right? Now, I got my data. Now tell me, are we using the same structures like SmartForm importing parameters or not? What are the importing parameters we have taken here in the SmartForm? Go to form interface. What is the importing parameter? I underscore emp. What is the type? ZDemo employee. We are taking the complete table reference, right? We are not using selected field structure. We are taking complete field reference. If we want only selected fields to be populated to the smart form, what we need to do? We need to create a structure with required fields and pass that structure name here instead of complete table reference. Okay? Just like how we did in the function modules. Now, in the program, what are we passing? Are we passing the complete table reference or not? Observe this work area. Is it defined with complete table reference or not? Since we are using star, it is creating this w underscore emp work area with this complete table reference, correct? Or you can also use a data statement to define the work area. W underscore emp type zdemo employee and use star. If you are using specific fields, then both this work area structure and the work area which you are using in the importing parameter which you are using in the smart form should match. It should contain same fields in the same order. That is important, right? Department also we are taking complete table reference. That's why I'm using select single star here so that it will select all the fields. Now I have my data ready. What is the next step? We need to call the smart form, right? We need to call the smart form. How to call the smart form in driver program? We need to use function module, smart form function module. Observe the steps. This is the smart form function module. Call your function module here in the driver program. Go to pattern, enter the function module name generated for that smart form. What can you observe here? Just like your this, right? Uh, function module call, right? Pass importing parameters w underscore emp to this, w underscore dept to this. Done. And enable the exceptions. There is one additional thing here. We need to pass the print parameters. We need to pass the user settings and our print parameters. That is optional for now. We'll see that later. Okay, in the next session. For now, I am removing this. So import parameter I am passing. I'm not returning any data. Exceptions are enabled. Check. Activated. Now let's test the program. Is this the correct way to call the smart form? Is this the correct way to call the smart form in driver program? I'm using
Sir,
direct
SSL.
function module. I'm using direct function module, direct smart form function module. So this is not the proper way. We have to use first SSF function module to find the function module name. Then we need to call that. So for now, let's keep it as it is. It will work in the development system. But when we have the issue, when we transported this program to test system, then we'll be having an issue because it's not going to generate the same function module name in test system. The function module name might be different. Depends on the number range available in the test system. Okay. Now let's test the program. What are the available employees? Let me provide some test data. Go back. Employee ID 100 and let me check the departments available. The text table. Oh, I think we don't have SAP. We have ECE, EEE, these departments. Anyway, now it's not going to display any logo. I'll change the condition, smart form logo condition. I'll change it to ECE and EEE. This one. For this, I'll pass instead of Java, I'll pass ECE. And for this, I'll pass EEE. Okay. And activate the smart form. ECE and EEE. Okay. Now execute the program. Employee ID 100 and I'll pass the department EEE. Execute. Employee data selected. Department data is also selected into the work area. Department data is also selected. Now I am calling the SmartForm function module. It is triggered, that SmartForm output. Let's click on print preview. It is displayed, right? Employee ID 100, name of the employee ID, city Hyderabad, department Tripoli, department name and footer text. Go back. Now provide ECE department. Now execute. Print preview. Now it displayed the different logo. Correct? Dynamically it displaying the different logo. But if you observe this, formatting is not correct. Logo is populating outside, out of the form, out of the page. We have to adjust that. How to adjust that? Go to the form painter, click on the form painter and adjust logo little bit like that. Clear? Now we are saying that this is not the proper way of calling the function module. Now how to call the function module? Go to the program. First we need to call which function module? SSF. I don't remember the name. Let's assume this is the function module name which we need to call. SSF function module underscore name. Let's keep the previous function call as it is. Don't change anything. First call your SmartForm function module and pass your importing and exporting parameters, and let's keep it as it is. And before that function module, add SSF function module name. What is the input for this? What is the input for this SSF function module name? Your SmartForm name. What is your SmartForm name? ZDemo EMP form. This is your SmartForm name. And what it will return? What it will return? Function module name. Function module name it will return. Okay. For that, what we need to do? We need to define one local variable with reference to this type, function module name type. When you pass the form name as input, it will return the function module name as output. What is the function module that is generated? I'll define one variable with reference to the function module name type. For example, LV underscore FM name. Type this type of you need to get this from exporting parameter of the function module, SSF function module name. Now pass this form name here, LV underscore FM name. If you want, you can enable the exceptions, and observe carefully what you need to do. Instead of this function module name, in place of this, just place variable name. That's it. First call your actual function module which is generated for the SmartForm and pass all your importing and exporting parameters, and then once it is working properly, then call SSF function module before this actual function module and pass the form name and define one variable for function module name and return that function module name to that variable, and in place of hard coded function module name, right, use that variable name. Now whatever the function module that is generated, that will be dynamically called. Even if you transport it to the test system, what this function module will do? This will pass the form name as input and it will get the function module generated for this SmartForm, and it will return that function module name to here. So you're not going to have any problem if you transport it to test system or production system, because it is dynamically selecting that function module which is generated, right? We are not hard coding it. Clear? Now we activate the program, test again. You have to maintain the selection text and everything just like your report program. ECE 100 ECE. So let me execute, or I'll show you how that SSF is working. Let me show that. Let me show you. Execute. Okay. Looks like I clicked on F8. Print preview. So this is your output. Now execute again. F5. Why it is going to end of selection directly? Let me change the breakpoint because I've added new lines of code, right? The breakpoint is changed. Let me add the breakpoint again. I'll add it at SSF function module. Execute. Keep one more breakpoint here. F6. So it is accepting smart form name as input and it returned the function module which is generated for that smart form. And the next step, we are calling that function module, whatever generated, right? And print preview, you can see the output. You can see the output. Which one we use, print preview or print in real-time transactions in real-time projects? What the options that business user is going to use? Is he going to use print preview? This is smart form is designed to print, right? This is to print, right? They'll use print. Okay, they'll use print. They'll select the device and they can use print. But where is the printer? Where can we check? It will be directly available in the printing device, or where can you check that print reference? We have a special concept called spool request /o sp01 or 02 I think. sp01 is the transaction code for spool request. What is this? The print output what we issued. The print output what we issued. This is the one, right? This is the same one, right? So where can you check the print outputs? Once the output is issued, sp01. Which T code?
SP0.
sp01 spool requests. Whatever the printout issued in the SAP system, all those printouts will be maintained in sp01 transaction code spool requests. You can search those printouts by created by who created the printout and date, client and everything, right? Execute. So this is the printout I issued now. Okay, if you want to check the print, you can check like this. Okay, let me issue one more printout. F8 print, not print preview. If you issue the printout, it will directly print. Refresh this, refresh the sp01. This is one more print output which we generated, right? So it is in waiting status because there is no proper printer configured, right? Once the printing is completed, it will be in completed status. Okay, clear? For our testing, we use print preview, right? So that's about creating the sample form and applying the conditions to display the dynamic logos or dynamic windows. Conditions are same. You can apply it on any window or any text element, right? If you want to dynamically display the data, this is a very important interview question also. So what are the important interview questions in smart forms? The very basic interview question, frequently asked interview question is how to call smart form in the driver program and what is the reason why we use a separate function module to call the smart form SSF function module name. What is the reason behind that? Another important interview question, types of windows and what is the purpose of each window. And the other interview question is how to display dynamic logos in your smart form, depends on the condition. Or how can you display dynamic text? For that, we can use the conditions option. We can set the conditions, right? And how can you display the background images or watermarks in your smart form? we have observed, right? In the page properties, we have a background image option. There you need to configure the graphics. And the other interview question related to smart form, how can you upload the logos? That is in SC78. And how can you increase or decrease the logo size? That is by using resolution. How can you reuse standard text? We have to use include text. Where we need to configure this print layouts for standard transaction codes in the NACE transaction code, that is the output control transaction code, NACE. Okay. So we'll see one more example where we can print tabular data, internal table data in the smart form in the next session. And also few advanced options available. Okay. Once we completed this, we'll work on Adobe Forms.